Do you want me to pause the recording? Or,
No, go ahead. We'll just let it keep going.
okay.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I see some students are starting to attend. We're going to get started in about just a few minutes. We just kind of opened up the webinar, so we're going to let all of the students start joining us. And you guys will probably get started probably about 10:05 or so. So just kind of sit tight, and we're going to get everything up and going. For the students who are joining us this morning, over in the chat, I just put a little chat that just said welcome. If you guys would just share with us what your current program of study is, so what your program of study, what your degree program or your certificate program is at Pima, that would be awesome, so that Texas Instruments can see. Some engineering students, welcome guys. Associates of Science, we have an AIT, hi Jennifer. I see we still have some more students joining us. So for the students that just joined us, we're just sharing over in the chat what your program of study is. So if you just kind of pop over there and let us all know what you're studying at Pima right now, so that our guests from Texas Instruments can see, that'd be awesome. And Hannah, as soon as you're back, just let me know.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay, awesome. So we have the students joining us right now, Hannah. So if you want to go ahead and share your screen, make sure the presentation's working, then we can do that.
Sorry, give me just a second.
No worries.
All right, can y'all see that?
Yes. Awesome. Hannah, are you ready to get started?
We are. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just going to do a couple quick housekeeping things, and then I'm going to turn it over to the three of you. So first off, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for attending this morning. We're super duper excited to have Texas Instruments with us this morning here at Pima virtually, and they're going to be sharing with you guys information about the company. They're going to go into full-time opportunities they have available, internships that they have available, both locally in Tucson and also nationally, if there's, some other places that you'd like to look into. If you guys have questions as our panelists are talking through all of this, please put all of your questions in the chat. So we'll be over. I think I got kicked out. I'm back.
Oh, perfect. Okay, we were wondering if
Sorry, you guys. That was so weird. I'm so sorry, everybody. I got kicked out. Now I'm back. Okay, so I was just going to say, students, if you guys do have any questions, anybody who's joining us this morning, put those questions over in the chat. We'll be in the chat answering the questions as we go through the presentation. And then at the end, we'll also answer a lot of them live. So anything that you think of, just don't be a stranger and put it over there. I'm now going to turn it over to Hannah and the team at Texas Instruments to do some introductions, and then they're going to start sharing with you all of the amazing things that Texas Instruments has to offer. So Hannah, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Well, before we get started, we just want to say thank you, a big thank you to Tima for letting us do events yesterday and today, and thank you to all of you guys for being here virtually. So, happy Friday to you all. Before we get started, we just wanted to do a quick intro. So after our intro, we'll do a few slides on who we are, what we do at TI, and then we'll move forward to the roles that we have open, and then really open it up to questions. And like Rebecca mentioned, if you do have questions, please do post it on the chat. And then when we do get breaks, Rebecca can read it out to us, or we can, if you guys prefer just speaking and saying the questions, we can do that as well. So we really want this to be like a discussion, so please do ask questions. So before we get started, my name is Hannah John. I am the University Recruiting Manager for this function, and I'm actually located in Dallas, but in Tucson for this week.
And then, hello, my name is Joseph Saratella. I've been at TI for about 6 years now. And I am currently the Tucson site lab manager. And I support about 7 different product lines, and we sell a lot of products you're probably familiar with if you look inside your phones.
Hi, my name is David Duax. I am an engineering technician. I've been with TI in total for about 13 years, and specifically at this site, almost 10 years. And I am supporting the ATE lab and the bench lab at the site here in Tucson.
All right, so before we get started, I do have a QR code on the screen right there. So if you don't mind just signing up, just to, it's like an event check-in. So you can just sign or, take a picture of that or whatever it might be, go to your screen and open that up. It'll ask for your email, and then right after your email, it'll ask you a few questions about your program, your graduation date. Just helps us determine if you're looking for an internship or a full-time opportunity. And then just a way to get in touch with you if you are interested. We do schedule our first round interview within the next week or two, so we want to try to move fast, so we want to make sure we are able to contact you. So I'll also put this up at the end, but I'll give it a minute if you guys want to take a picture, or maybe 30 seconds. All right, we'll keep on going. So before we get started, we do have a video just talking about who we are. So at our core, we have the passion to create a better world by making electronics more affordable. And so this is our passion video.
At Texas Instruments, our passion is to create a better world by making electronics more affordable through semiconductors. As the building blocks of modern electronics, our semiconductor technologies help customers develop solutions to the world's toughest challenges, enabling smart...
Sorry guys, give me just a second.
medical devices, automated factories, more efficient appliances. At Texas Instruments, our passion is to create a better world by making electronics more affordable through semiconductors. As the building blocks of modern electronics, our semiconductor technologies help customers develop solutions to the world's toughest challenges, enabling smart medical devices, automated factories, more efficient appliances, and making vehicle electrification possible. Each electronic device you interact with could have tens, hundreds, or even thousands of chips inside, translating signals from the physical universe into digital data and back again, adding intelligence and new functionality to things we use every day. And all of this is possible because companies like TI have been engineering progress for decades. The vacuum tube was once at the heart of all electronics. For the first time, entertainment and information could be transmitted and received in real time. In 1954, TI engineer Gordon Teal introduced the world's first commercial silicon transistor. Electronics became personal and could be held in your hand, and things never before imagined were possible. 4 years later, in 1958, TI engineer Jack Kilby combined multiple transistors onto a single piece of semiconducting material to create the world's first integrated circuit. The chip that Jack built changed the world forever. Radar systems were made more reliable. Spacecraft were built with smaller, lighter, more dependable components. Computing power that once cost millions became more powerful, affordable, and could fit in your pocket. Through decades of progress, our innovations continued to make electronics more accessible to more people. And today, semiconductors are so affordable that they are being added to everything. Home automation makes the places we live more convenient, energy efficient, and safe. Portable medical devices monitor and transmit vital health data in real time. Cars equipped with sensing technology make driving safer than ever before. Industrial robotics make factories safer and increase productivity. Entire cities are smarter, more efficient, and more connected. Where we were once limited by technology, we are now limited only by imagination. At TI, our passion is to create a better world by making electronics more affordable through semiconductors. We think of it as engineering progress. We've been doing it for decades. We continue today, and we can't wait for tomorrow.
All right. Well, first off, again, my name is Joseph Saratella, the lab manager out here in Tucson, and just want to go in and give you guys an overview of really who we are as a company, TI, and a little bit more in depth from the video that we just saw, and then also a little bit more about who we are here in Tucson and the roles that we're offering and kind of what our mission is. You know, at a glance, though, the big takeaway that you can get from this slide deck is we are global. And not only are we global, we're reaching multiple markets from industrial to automotive, personal electronics. You can see all the different types of things that we use in our everyday lives that our products or our company makes. And, you know, someone asked me, what do you make, right? And we said, oh, if you notice your TV, or if you notice your cell phone, we make the things that make those better, just like the video said. And from those efforts, from those innovations, TI's revenue as a whole is over $14 billion spread across 3 key areas. Our analog, for example, how you sense the world, $10 billion. Our embedded, how you process the world around you or those signals or data. And then also just general things like our education technologies, like the calculators, DLP, if you've ever been to an IMAX, that's a TI product. TI's global footprint in America, Asia, Europe is well over 30,000 people to contribute to that $14 billion. In America, the 12K is broken down into about 350 of us here in Tucson. And of that $14 billion, we're about $2 million of it. And from that, we have well over 100,000 customers, 80,000 products to really service the world, to provide them with the chips or the semiconductor materials to make their home automation better, their cars better, and then just in general, make our lives simpler. Multiple different awards from our engagement and also our diversity initiatives as well is something that we're very proud of as a company. So we can go ahead and do the next slide here. You know, we talked about how global TI is. A lot of the roles that we have here in TI are associated with our manufacturing sites. In Tucson, we're actually what you would refer to as a design site. So if you look on this screen here, those 30,000 employees stretched across 30 different countries, you'll see our global footprint. These are where we complete the actual manufacturing, for example, the semiconductor process at the wafer level, to packaging in those little black chips that if you were to open your phone up, you would see. We have presences in Japan, China, Mexico, and a large presence in Dallas. And if you look in the investment, we're growing more 300 millimeter fab sites in Dallas. And also, we just opened one in Lehigh Valley, Utah, which we're hiring more and more for to support these needs. But taking a step back, Tucson, Arizona, how does this fit into this global picture? In Tucson, we use all of these locations to build products that you're familiar with, like LDOs, op amps. A lot of things that you see across the globe are made in Tucson and made in Dallas and TI. So if you go ahead and go to the next slide. So what is global manufacturing, or what do we do for a lot of the positions that we're offering here in the Tucson site for our lab environment and also the manufacturing environment? It's really broken down into 3 areas. How do we innovate? How do we remain flexible? And how do we provide quality products to meet our customers' demand? Innovation or processes, things that we do here from a manufacturing or a lab environment, is how do we provide our customers being the design engineers, the test engineers, the tools and the systems that they can work on, leverage to make better, smaller, more efficient product. Flexibility in our operations. Do we have enough tools to support? Can we maintain those tools to provide a flexible working environment for the engineers, for the designers, and then also the people across the globe? And quality. At the end of the day, the products that TI pushes out for our test and the services that we provide in our labs and from a technician and engineering standpoint enables TI to really push out high quality products with all the systems and processes we put in place to meet that large demand. I think we've sold last year well over 2 billion sensors that were designed out of this site. Very interesting stuff. What about our process? High level speaking, 80% of TI's wafers are produced internally. We also have multiple partners in our foundries. So our foundries are companies that we partner with, like Taiwan Semiconductor or Global Foundries, to make these wafers. But the benefit of having 80% of our wafers produced in-house and that global footprint allows a lot of the roles that we interface and we drive here and that we're looking for to really get out there to learn from our various different internal partners or fabs that are across the globe to define new processes. And also having that large internal footprint helps us meet that customer demand. It allows us to control our processes, to put new innovations in place, to design effective ways to drive our quality up, to provide more capacity, and to strategize and prioritize how we engage with our customers more effectively. And a quick little example for our role here in Tucson, the benefit of having all that internally, we are getting a brand new tool, a laser tool to trim our wafers. And we're working with engineers from Germany and England and Dallas to drive that with that global internal footprint that we have. So at a glance, some high-level bullet points that I want to push out there. When we talk about manufacturing, it comes down to 4 major steps. How do you fabricate the wafer? How do you assemble it? How do you test it? And how do you put it into, or what we refer to, a bump process for some of our newer technologies like WCSP? That wide footprint or infrastructure allows us to be flexible and also meet the demands of our customers. But for our roles here that we're looking for in the technician and engineering space for the global lab environment, those tools needed to test and assemble product are the exact tools that we have here on our site. So how do we make those tools better? How do we keep them up and running? because those tools we have that are in the other sites are part of a wide spanning 4 million square feet of clean room space. So the amount of product that goes through Tucson goes to locations across the globe to manufacture. And it's part of our team's responsibility here to make sure we're achieving high yield. How do we give our engineers the tools with the appropriate tool sets, calibrations, and whatnot, so when they go to release to a factory like this, they're able to maintain that high yield. And that's completely done by supporting that innovation, looking towards new processes or how we grow better as a lab from an engineering standpoint, a maintenance standpoint, and then also a predictive and preventative side of things. And the last bit here, safety is the #1 priority in any lab or manufacturing environment. And that's something we always strive for here in TI. Another favorite thing that I have is the green status. We just built a brand new building in Tucson to help us support that $2 billion worth of revenue we generate here. This is a LEED certified building, so the AC is amazing in here, sometimes too cold. So I'm currently in a jacket, freezing, but I love this building, and I love that TI is always pushing for green buildings and environments as we move forward.
Hi, this is David Duax again. I'm one of the technicians here at the Tucson site, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper into some of the roles available here at the moment. So TI supports many different technician levels and many different types of technician roles. You'll see on this slide a process technician, facilities technician, equipment technician. But specifically what we're doing here right now is looking for engineering technicians. And this is a type of role that really is, it's part of it is collaborative in nature with the engineers on site. So you'll be supporting engineers in their various activities while also maintaining the equipment and making sure that it is you know, as sound as it can be from a maintenance standpoint. So one of the really exciting things about this site, being that it is a development site, is there's a large variety of tools in a small space, and our technicians are working on all of it. So there's a lot of cross-training, there's a lot of variety. For instance, Joseph mentioned the new laser system. We also just completed an install of a brand new pick-and-place handler. And then we also have many large testers. We also have a wafer saw that we operate from time to time to create prototype devices that need validation and testing so that we get advanced look-aheads to some of our newer products. And we also support a very large bench lab. So we have some application and validation engineers that occupy that space, and there's lots of equipment that needs to be traced and calibrated, and that's part of it. And then also we need to be supportive to their needs. So if they want specialized equipment, we will sometimes help them source that and decide, is that really the best way to go? And so one of the great things is that it is a collaborative environment, and that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about it. So go ahead and the next slide. So TI as a company values their technicians. They very much see them as a vital component to the operations here. And because they make sure that the equipment that the engineers are using is held to the highest standard of maintenance, and we perform the repairs and all the upgrades. So as a technician, as far as the the tools are concerned, you are responsible for making sure that all the troubleshooting and the repairs are completed, and the preventative maintenance. And also, another part of it is to improve processes and performances. So sometimes the engineers will require things that haven't been done yet. Because it's a development site, we haven't utilized the tool in a very specific way. So we will help to facilitate any kind of modifications or new improvements that are required in that way. So, like I say, it's a very dynamic, exciting role to be in as far as technician work at TI. So another part of this is that TI is very much they encourage a lot of on-the-job training. So most of what we do is very specialized. So it's very difficult for schools to give specific training on a Teradyne ETS 364 tester. So once you arrive here, you have to get on the job training, and that is a big component of what we do here is once you're here, you're part of a team, and the senior techs will help the newer techs come on board and learn new things, and you'll be exposed to a variety of different tools and learn different procedures and processes as they're associated with these tools. So my experience has always been positive in this area. The technicians I've always worked with here have always been great. They've always been very generous with their time and their knowledge. So it's not a type of place that hoards knowledge and keeps it to themselves. We like to share and make sure that everybody has all the skills that they need to succeed.
Perfect. So I guess before we move forward, any questions in the chat we want to, Rebecca, that they had?
We had a couple questions come through. So one of the questions was, since your company is worldwide, are there travel opportunities within the company? And I already know the answer, but I'll let you guys answer that one.
Yeah, do you want to take it?
Sure, I'll take it. Yeah, there are travel opportunities inside of the company. And if you think about on the global manufacturing side, where we broke it down into innovation, flexibility, and then high quality, the projects that we work and the tools that we add here are opportunities for us to travel to see tools in different locations to learn to train on them. Or on the slide that you see here, classroom training, go to Dallas to receive in-person training to grow your career and really own learning of different tools and systems. So there's always opportunities to travel, especially if you work innovative projects and you try to push the status quo and fan those out to our different sites.
And I think, just to keep going with that, is it really depends on the role, right? It depends on, where you come in and what you do and what the time is. So I don't know if we can guarantee, all the roles to be traveling roles. But if that is something you're interested in, work with your manager on that and, let them know, hey, I am open to training outside, or I am open to going to these specific places. So that's a great question. Any other questions?
Yeah, so we had a question that came in about internships, and I know we're going to talk about that here in a second. But the question was just kind of related to what types of internships are there? Are there systems engineer internships available at Texas Instruments? So if you want to answer that now, or we can wait until we get to the internship section, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I could briefly talk about it. So we
Okay,
do
cool.
have those internships, but unfortunately today our main focus is going to be technicians and engineering technicians, and, internships with that. But in order to qualify for a systems engineering internship with TI, you do have to be, in a four-year university pursuing that program. And most of the time it's going to be your junior or senior year that internship does come, but you're more than welcome to check out our careers page and, start applying if that is something you're already qualified to do. And, you know, I think that's a great segue into what we're looking for, right? So today we're here to talk to you guys about the internship role and our technician role, engineering technician for Tucson site. So we have a few different opportunities here, and the Tucson site is, where are we located, guys?
Craycroft and, Broadway.
So,
Williams Center.
yeah, so I know from the downtown campus, we're about 15 minutes away, so very close to you guys. So that's why we want to come here first and say, you know, offer all these opportunities that we had. So for full-time role, that would be anyone that graduates before August 2022. So if you graduate December, or let's say you already have your degree, you're just, you know, here because you already have it. So you'd qualify, but anyone up to August 2022. That means you can graduate December of this year, January of next year, or even like May of next year. So that would be for the full-time role. So an internship is for anyone that graduates December of next year to May of next year, or the year after. So anyone from December 2022 to May of 2023. And our internships go a couple of different ways. So you can choose to do truly a summer internship, so when you're out of school, so from June to August, and really the dates are a little bit flexible. We do have some suggestions on, you know, around what time we'd like you to start, just so, you know, you can be with the other interns. But, you know, if you do have something, we can definitely work with you on that. Or you can do kind of a co-op opportunity where you start in June and you go until December. And that's where most of our tech interns in Dallas are. So they do internships from June to August, and most of them graduate January of 2023. So, you know, as soon as your internship is over, regardless of if it's August or December, as long as we have a grad date in mind and, you know, you graduate within the next 6 months, and you're doing a great job at your internship and you want to continue, we'll give you your offer for a full-time role. I know that was a lot, but basically as soon as you enter and finish your internship, you're doing good and you want to continue, then instead of having to go through interviews all over again or assessments or anything like that, you know, your internship was a long interview process, right? So you'll get that offer. So TI is very big about intern conversion. Most of our new college grad roles are, you know, they are interns that we've had before. So 60 to 70% come from our internship. So as well as, I think we can talk about, if my slide moves, different benefits that we offer as well. So obviously competitive salary depending on, you know, where you are in your experience, your schooling, all of that. The internship is paid. Unfortunately, the internship doesn't come with all the different, it does come with PTO, holiday pay, things like that, but it doesn't come with the rest of the things I'll be talking about. So the rest of it is when you'll be a full-time technician, or, you know, if you come in straight as a full-time technician. But we do offer profit sharing. So profit sharing is TI's way of giving back to its employees. So that's usually announced, thank you guys, that's usually announced by December, what the percentage that we're doing this year is, and that could be up to 20%. So just to give you guys a little bit previous knowledge is, we've been paying out at 20%, which is where it caps out, unfortunately, for the past couple of years. And before that, 10 to 15 years before that, it's been at that 10 to 15% mark, or if not higher. So TI is continuing to grow. So, we hope profit sharing continues to stay the same and caps out, which is huge, right? Most companies only offer 5 to 10%, if that, as an annual bonus, but TI wants to make sure we give back as we grow to our employees. So, that's something. We offer relocation bonus. So anyone that is interested, we do have different locations. We have a few in Dallas. That's where our hub is. So we have Dallas, Richardson, Sherman, and then if you are interested, we do have opportunities in Maine, Portland. We also have Santa Clara, and then, obviously our goal today is about Tucson, but if you are interested in any of those other ones, we do pay a relocation sum. It's just paid out, and what we do is kind of give you a lump sum to help you with the move. And then if you are interested in the move, we also have a concierge service as soon as you accept your offer that will assist you in, finding apartments, homes, finding best electric provider, all of these things. Someone will be, able to help you with that so you don't feel like you're alone during your move. Health insurance. So health insurance starts the first day you start. So for example, if your first day is June 1st, instead of a typical probation period to get your health insurance, you will start your insurance June 1st. So, if you don't want it, you can opt out the first day as well. And something that's not on here, but I want to talk about is tuition reimbursement. We encourage internal mobility. We want you to grow. We want all of our employees to grow within their careers, within their education. So if that is something you're interested, you want to work as a technician and go to school to become an engineer, as long as your performance is doing well, your HR team approves it, and your hiring manager approves it, we will send you a link to start applying for tuition reimbursement. So I know that was a lot. So we'll turn on our video so you guys can see us, because I know we're just voices right now. And then, feel free to ask questions.
Hannah, we have a ton of questions to ask you guys. So are you ready for some questions?
Yeah, most definitely. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah, and my video I can't turn on. It's not turning on.
Oh, no. Okay. Here, let me see if I can.
All right.
All of us here.
Hi there.
Hey, guys.
right.
Okay, so our first question that we had come in for you guys was, if we are only a sophomore, are we eligible for an internship? So can you just kind of walk through those dates and help everybody kind of understand the internship eligibility?
Yeah, that's a great question. So sophomore in the associate program?
Sierra, are you a sophomore? You're a sophomore? Yes, she says yes.
Okay. So when do you graduate? Sorry, just wanted to make sure before I answer. When would you be done with your associates?
She says probably 2024.
Yeah. With that, you can do the technician internship. I think sorry if I confused you guys, but when I said earlier, junior and senior year, that's when you're doing your bachelor's, and somebody asked a question about system engineering internship. But for an internship for technician, it's pretty broad, right? So you can do an internship as long as you're graduating with, fairly soon, so 2 to 3 years. But you can also, the full-time role is anyone that graduates before August 2022.
Got it. Perfect. And then we had another question. How much do interns typically make per hour?
So I actually don't have that number because the internship is different, but I could definitely get back to you. So anyone who does sign up for the internship and they are interested, I will reach out to you personally and let you know the amount, because we do want to be transparent. We're not going to make you go through the whole interview process and then, surprise you with the amount. So I will most definitely reach out to you if you do sign up on that link to let you know about that amount beforehand.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go over into the Q&A box where we have a ton of questions over there as well. So one of the questions came in from Marcel, and the question was, are there opportunities to learn different roles during an internship? For example, if I'm learning data analysis and prefer reliability, is there room to change roles?
So I think that would really depend. So right now, our whole event is focused on technician internship, and I think you guys can speak to a little bit more about what they'll see in a tech intern. But I think that's geared more towards a 4-year, like when they're in school as an engineer, the different internships we offer there, and those are honestly tons. We have rotation programs after you graduate with your engineering degree, electrical, mechanical, computer science, and you can choose to do that where you'll get exposed to multiple different opportunities. But I will have Joey here talk about what you can expect for a tech intern.
Yeah, so for the tech internship, our group or our site is broken down into a few main areas. That would be calibration, it would be automated testing, working with our test systems, and then also working with our quality teams. So there are opportunities to get exposure into different areas. Of course, with the internship, we would probably focus on a main project. And as we work through that main project, there's opportunities to receive potential cross-training or get exposure into different areas, so that maybe for the next portion of the internship or a future one, or the potential conversion to a full hire through as an NCG, you have the opportunity to suggest areas that you found the most interesting to you or you might prefer. So again, we have about, I would say, a wide breadth of experiences as in the technician world here, that being calibration, the bench stuff, getting exposure into potential coding maybe, even working directly on maintaining tools, and then working in our quality reliability labs as well.
Awesome, thank you. Another question that we had come in is, can you guys talk to some of the background, the education background that you're looking for somebody for an internship?
Yeah, for the internship, I would say background-wise, a technical troubleshooting type degree or an AS degree where you where the focus can be a wide range, but you have the skill sets and mindsets that facilitate troubleshooting and just working as a team. That's our main interest, really, to find people fitting in the team with a priority focus on a technical type degree within the AS. But it doesn't have to specifically be electrical technician AS or a specific role.
Yeah. And most definitely. So to add on to that, minimum requirement is, enrolled in a technical related degree. So advanced manufacturing, advanced technology, electrical engineering, computer science even. But, to add on to that, what we're looking for, we're not looking for you to come with experience per se, but we are looking for, hey, do you have electrical and mechanical aptitude? And a big part, Joey touched on that, are you able to work in a team, but also, safety. At TI, we're very big on safety, and that's probably our number one priority. And we want to make sure that, you can come in and do the same thing as, what we're looking for. These are all great questions. Keep on going.
Yeah, there's a bunch, so I have more. Another question came in, what is the interview process like for an internship? And kind of more specifically, are there any certain like coding or technical questions that they're going to have to answer as a part of that?
Yeah, so I will start with the basics, and then maybe Joey can talk a little bit more about the specifics and technical stuff. But for an internship, and an NCG or a new college grad role, full-time role, you'll have 2 interviews for both. The first one is going to be a phone interview, a very basic phone interview, where you talk about the role, you talk about your experience, very basic overview of technical questions as well as behavioral questions. So our behavioral questions are really focused on our passion statement and who we are, what we're looking for, and you'll be able to find a lot of material on that on our TI website itself. And then the technical portion, I will hand it over, but the second round is going to be 2 panel interviews, and then a very brief hands-on electrical and mechanical box that you'll go over.
Yeah, so for the in-person type interviews, specifically talking about like the technical portion of it, we'll ask a lot of questions where the central theme is mainly troubleshooting. We'll also maybe touch on a little bit of electrical theory, maybe like Ohm's law or things like that. But again, the idea is to gauge kind of where you are, your mindset, your thought, and the aptitude to learn and learn from our team of experts here what our processes are and what we do. So you'll see some general questions about electrical, mechanical type things. But at the end of the day, it's, again, I think Anna mentioned, we really want to focus on the aptitude or how you work through those problems. And also, we would do more behavioral questions in the panelist interview, too.
All right, so she says, so no coding.
Yeah, no coding questions.
All right.
For these
Perfect,
roles.
thank you.
For our
For these
technician
roles.
roles, yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys were interested in internships outside of the Tucson location, then of course it would be dependent on the internship. For the specific internships in Tucson, it is not going to be a part of it. And then we had a question come in from Genesis. She's just looking to double, triple clarify that she does qualify for an internship. She's going to be looking to apply for the summer of 2022 software engineering. That would be outside of Tucson, correct, Hannah?
We do have a few roles in Tucson for engineering roles, but I will say it's probably already filled for next
Okay.
year. But you are more than welcome to go to careers.ti.com and look at, the different opportunities in Tucson. So you'll be able to filter by that. And then you'll see the minimum requirement, and then, you're able to apply, and then you'll hear back from the recruiter, within a few weeks on, the next steps if you do qualify.
Wonderful. And then if a student has a bachelor's degree in a different field, plus they have the AIT certificate, do they qualify for an internship still, even though they already have a bachelor's degree?
It would depend. What is a bachelor's degree in?
Jennifer, what's your bachelor's degree in? Psychology.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a degree we'd accept for the technician role, because I was going to say if it was anything in the technical related field, you could probably try it, to do the full-time role even for the technician, but for those roles, you do have to have a technical degree.
Okay, even if she's taking classes in AIT?
Is she currently enrolled in the program, the associate program?
Jennifer, are you currently in the AIT program?
Because we don't accept certifications, unfortunately, but we do.
Okay.
If she is enrolled in the associate program, this associate program, then she'd qualify for the internship. But
Got it.
it would have to be the degree, not the certificate.
Okay, perfect. Got it. All right, so let me go through the rest of these questions, see what else we have. So we did Marcel's. We talked about educational backgrounds. You guys, what other questions do you have? I think some of these we answered already in other dialogue. So does anybody have additional questions for Texas Instruments right now? What is the company culture like in Tucson? Marcel, that's a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. I will let Tucson experts answer that one.
I'll give you my personal experience and I hope that answers your question. In Tucson, first day on the job, when I started in 2015, I would say, starry-eyed. There were so many things, so many different things to learn, so many opportunities to learn, and they were challenging. But each one of those opportunities that I found or was looking into, there was always somebody that was willing to go out of their way to assist me. So I would say as a site, our culture is inclusivity. Everyone's here to help each other. Everyone's here to reach out to somebody as a team, because we all have a common goal to reach. We also, I would say, are very community focused. So I'm actually the campaign chair for the United Way for the past while. And we have 5 diversity initiatives, from the Chinese initiative to, we're now adding a Hispanic initiative as well to our site. So there's just so many opportunities that we give back to each other and our community. So inclusivity, I think, is a single word based off of one of the example words I would give from the experiences I've had here.
And I know you guys are all from Tucson, so this won't be a big deal to you, but there's mountains in the back of the conference room. That's my favorite part of or the site.
I love it. There are windows, Marcel says. Windows, yes. Amazing.
You know what, though, in Dallas, where we are in our building, we don't have windows, so this is great. We
Oh
love
my
it here.
goodness, I love it. Perfect. So we had a question come in from Aaron. Aaron asked, would a computer engineering degree be useful for the position, or is there other programs or classes that would be beneficial? And he says, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no, thanks for asking that question. So, to be honest, with this, with the technician role we're looking for, we used to only accept electronic degrees, so we required you take the AC/DC circuit classes, you know, basic electronic classes. So, I mean, if we had to choose, I would say electrical focused degrees would be, you know, on the top of the list. But computer engineering could also work because, you know, you do take a lot of the similar classes. And that's truly why we opened up that, the degree field, because it was more of, you know, not degree focused, but, you know, who you are as a person in terms of, do you have that electrical and mechanical aptitude? Because sometimes that can't be taught. It has to be something you're interested in.
Awesome, thank you. And then how many internships are you guys looking to hire for, like, for example, for this summer?
So in Tucson, it's a handful, but if you're interested in Dallas or Maine, there's a lot more opportunities there. But Tucson, it's probably going to be a little bit of a, you know, kind of a challenge to choose, you know, a few people. But again, we are in one of those places where if we do find additional people and, you know, that is something, you know, we really think they'd make a great fit to TI, we can definitely request for additional headcount. So I don't think that's really an issue. So if you are interested in, you know, Tucson, I don't want to scare you away.
Awesome. So there's opportunities, lots of opportunities in Tucson. We just don't know exactly how many. All right. And then if you guys could just kind of sum up for the students that are on the call, what are like the main responsibilities of this internship? Like maybe like top 5 most important things.
Well, I would say first to learn, right? That's the number one. The number two is to build the relationships across the site, right? We mentioned earlier $2 billion worth of revenue. That comes from seven different product teams. So knowing them, learning them, helping them is another aspect of it. Also, another main responsibility is to help support us from efficiency gain areas. So again, we mentioned most interns will be assigned a main core project. How do we do something better? So to take your project and really drive it and provide at the end of the internship what your recommendations are and feed that back to, again, the people you learned from and those relationships that you've built with some of our customers. And the last two things I would say is a responsibility is to come with a curious attitude, to really be interested into learning new things. And the last one is, I would say, what would be a good one? To really, I'm used to 3, so 5, you threw me a curveball with that one.
We can go with 3. That's okay too.
So, but I mean, on the last one, I would definitely say it's to help bridge the culture between our ATE floor, our bench floor, and then our users, right? So that just comes back to number 2, making the network and building up your relationships.
Great. Ariane helped you answer your question. Okay, so what other questions do the students on the call have for Texas Instruments? I think we covered almost everything. Kaylee, I see that you asked, are there internships available in Santa Clara? Hannah, she can probably go on the Texas Instruments website and see what's available, right?
Yeah, completely. So you can actually filter by location, filter by entry level versus experience versus a certain degree. So most definitely visit our career site.
Awesome. Okay, so it looks like the questions are starting to wind down a little bit, and I know we have about 4 minutes left today. And you know what, Callie or Kaylee, I'm sorry, I think I might be pronouncing it wrong. That's my next question for the panel. So Hannah, what are next steps for the students? They scan the code that is currently on the screen, and then what is going to happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you do scan the code, I do see some of you already signed up, and do sign up on there. I will reach out to you in the next few weeks to schedule you with the first round or second round. Obviously, again, I know some of you guys asked for the pay rate, so the first thing we'll do is talk about that, and then we'll get you scheduled for the first round interview. It'll be a phone interview, and then, I'll just confirm that, you'll be doing you're qualified for an internship versus full-time role, and then, get you scheduled for a first round interview. And if you do pass that first round interview, your second round probably, because it's holiday season coming up, won't be until January. Usually we do like to move much faster, but for the full-time role candidates, you come on site, do your second round here. For interns, we're still working it out. It might be in person, it might be virtually, but I'll definitely let you know. And then immediately after that second round, within a few days, you'll hear back on if you got an offer. And if you did get an offer, the recruiter will give you a call and work out the details with you, give you a verbal offer first, give you the details, and then ask for when you want to start, when you can start. So let's say you do your second round in January, but you don't graduate until May, but you're getting an offer. We'll go ahead and give you an offer, as soon as that interview is over, and it'll just say, this is contingent on you graduating in May, and then your start date will be right after your graduation. So we do have a third-party vendor that does do background checks for us and does an educational background. And part of that is, verifying your degree. And if it is too close to your start date, you might just have to, just give them a transcript or something like that. But there are some verifications that they'll do.
Awesome. And then I remember yesterday we talked about this in the in-person, COVID vaccinations. Is that mandatory? That's required to work at Texas Instruments?
So glad you actually brought it up. So we do have a vaccine mandate. It is, required that all employees have a, first, second round. But there are some exemptions, so you can file for that. If it's a health or religious belief, you can most definitely, sign up for that. It's kind of done through your application, and they'll get back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So just to recap for the students, make sure everybody, you scan the code and you just fill out that information, because that is how Hannah is going to be able to reach back out to you. Even if you're unsure about, do I qualify for an internship? Do I qualify for the full-time role? She'll be able to actually have that conversation and walk you through that. So don't miss that opportunity to be able to have that conversation with her. And then if you do qualify for one or the other, then she'll be able to move you through the process. And like she said, it typically can move really fast, and you could get an offer for a pending position or internship, once you finish school, which is pretty amazing. So I want to say thank you so much for our panel being here today. We had so many great questions, and over the last 2 days, so many students are so excited about opportunities with you guys. So a huge thank you to both of you, or to all three of you. And with that, I think we can probably finish up, and Hannah will reach out to everybody that's scanned that code. So thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was fun. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Friday, guys. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.